Okay, first graders, so this is your Fancy Frame sheet. It came in your sleeve. Now there's a lot of different ways that we can practice spelling, and they're all through here, and I don't want us to write right on the page. I want us to keep it in your sleeve, and we're going to write on it. So this week we're talking about et words, and in the second page of the slide for Fancy Frames you have a list of et words. And so this is how Fancy Frames works. You pick one of our spelling words and you write it in the frame, and you write it really fancy. Now you can choose to write it really fancy like this, like let's use the word pet. You can either choose to write it as fancy, like very neat, the neatest you've ever written a word. You can choose to either do it this way. So that is fancy. Here's another fancy way. Let me use the word pet again, but I'm going to make it a little bit fancier. So maybe I want my P to have a swirl at the end. And I'm doing this. Maybe a little tail. You're just making the letters look really fancy. It's okay if they don't look exactly like the letter. Like I'm going to give this a little tail down here, the E. And then let's do a T up here, and let's add stars around the T. So that's pretty fancy too. I still see the word pet. So you're still writing the letters, and then you're just making it fancy. Let me do another one. So these are examples of two different fancy ways, but what you're going to do is do all of the words that we have that start with et, and you're putting them in the Fancy Frame. So the next one is get, so I could write get. And I may just put stars over here. Or the next one I could do jet. I'm going to do like a robot. Or the next one I can do vet, and I can make this bubble letters. And so basically you're going to do all of your words and do them in a really fancy way in all of the frames. So make sure you fill up the whole Fancy Frames with all of your spelling words, and at the very end you can write our sight words for this week, the, and you can write the sight word and. All right, enjoy.